what's going on, my Cancers? This is your monthly forecast for the month of July 2016. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't mind my hair. It is hotter than you know what out here, but I am still working. I'm still getting these horoscopes to you guys. And there's like a lot of beautiful water behind me because you're a water sign, so I hope you enjoy that. But anyway, before we get started, I also wanted to remind you that this is a general forecast for anybody who was born under the sun, moon, or rising sign in the sign of Cancer. If you don't know what your moon sign or your rising sign are, there's some links below to some websites where you can find out that information if you have your birth time or at least your birth day and place. And if you would like me to look at your unique chart that's only unique to you and see what's going on in your life or interpret your chart for you and your personality, I would love to. Shoot me an email. My email address is in the description box, and I would love to email you back and let you know all the information of how to schedule a reading. Now, on to your general July forecast. Okay, first of all, my Cancer boo-boos, I would like to tell you happy birthday. To my July-born Cancers, I really hope you enjoy your month. Now, your biggest focuses are going to be on yourself, first of all, and nothing wrong with that during your birthday month. And then it's going to shift a little bit over to making money. So first, the beginning half of the month, it's all about you. It's all about how you look, how you feel. It's all about just celebrating your life. It's a time of new beginnings, you know, when the planetary activity is going on, mainly in your sign. It's really a time for change and a time for initiating some new actions. It's just a really exciting time for you. So let me break down the energies and let you know why that is. So the sun is going to be in Cancer until the 22nd of July. And this is your first house of you, yourself, your body, your life path, your appearance. It's all about my Cancers. Okay, so the sun is a big spotlight, obviously, right? And wherever he is transiting, he shines a light on that area of your life. So he's just shining a big spotlight on you, honey. Okay, so you're going to really be focusing on yourself a lot more. It's a time where you feel kind of reborn during your birthday month, because really thinking about where you've been, where you're going. Well, actually, it's like the month before, the sign before yours, which is Gemini. Whenever energy is going on in Gemini, you're kind of finishing your year. And you're thinking about what's your next move, you know, when it's your birthday time and you start a new solar year. What are you going to be doing that's different that you did last year? You know, what are you going to do better? What are you going to change? So now it's time to initiate those changes. Some of my Cancers might start noticing things about their appearance and their body that they want to change and become more body conscious, more health conscious, more just appearance conscious, and maybe change some things. Change your style, change your hair. Or maybe just really start like going shopping, maybe get some piercings, some tattoos, if that's things that you're into. If not, then yeah, just some clothes, some shoes. I mean, you know, at least a little bit to make yourself feel good. I mean, your birthday season is like, you're born, like, hey, I'm here, you know, I'm the star of the show. What I would say to avoid, because the sun is an energy of authority on its own. And when it comes into the first house is a house of authority as well. It's asserting your authority because you're really in touch with yourself, okay? So I would say be careful not to become too selfish and self-centered to where you offend people, or to where you're like bossy, like you're really like, it's all about me and everybody needs to bow down to me and do what I want them to do and cater to me or else, you know. So try to avoid going to that negative side of having a first house transit. Cancers are usually, generally speaking, very caring and nurturing people who really care about others, but you may during this month not care for others as much and maybe just focus on yourself a little more, which, as long as you're not being too selfish or bossy, like I said, it's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. So Mercury is going to be in your sign, in your first house, until the 13th of the month. So Mercury in the first house is like really busybody energy. It's like Mercury rules the mind, the processes of the mind, and the skills of the hands, using your hands. So it's like really being busy, having a busy mind, and having busy hands. So always notice that when people have a transit of Mercury going into their sign, they talk a lot faster, they move a lot faster, they're like just very, very busy. And they really have trouble sleeping too because their minds are just like whizzing around all over the place. and their body tries to keep up with it. Also, when people have a transit of Mercury in their sign, they become super talkative. So you may just be super chatty and wanting to talk to all your friends and come out of your shell a little bit more. Venus is going to be in your sign until the 12th of the month. Now, this is very favorable energy. To have Venus in your sign, Venus is the goddess of love and beauty, as we all know. So when she comes into your sign, you're like wearing her on you. You are exuding her energy out there to the world. So people are going to be seeing you in this Venusian light. You're going to be glowing, and people are just going to be really attracted to you. I mean, not that you're not attractive enough already, Cancer, but they're going to be extra attracted to you and wanting to spend time with you and talk to you. So this is a really beneficial time, especially if you're looking for love or a relationship, or you're open to that. It's a great time to get more attention, that's for sure. So also, since Venus rules beauty and your appearance, it's a great time to adjust your appearance, like go shopping and adjust your appearance, like your looks, like your hair. If you're a woman or a man that's into makeup, you're going to want to be buying makeup. You're going to be in those beauty stores, online shopping for cosmetics, beauty supplies, or grooming supplies, all of that stuff. Great time to make some adjustments to your appearance and feel really good about yourself. So another big thing that's happening in the sign of Cancer this month for you guys is a new moon in your sign. It's happening on the 4th of July, which is in America a holiday that a lot of people spend time with family and barbecue and all that stuff. But it's happening July 4th, and this is a new moon, which means the sun and the moon are in the same sign. They come together in the same degree, which this month is 12 degrees of Cancer. So if you were born around the 4th of July, like maybe a few days before, a few days after, this is definitely a huge significant time for you that signifies a new beginning. I mean, all this activity, the sun and everything in your sign, is already a time of new beginnings, to get things going and initiated. But a new moon, it like sets the ground to like plant seeds for something brand new to blossom, and it's in your sign. So that means there's just your life path is set to change in some sort of way. Maybe a big transformational change to your appearance can happen, and just how you feel about yourself and your life in general. The new moon lays a fertile ground for something new to grow and cultivate. So the energy is going to shift into Leo towards the middle and the end of the month, and this is your second house of earned income. So whenever it's Leo season, for my Cancer people, it's like you become more focused on making money, on earning money, on maybe even spending money, but also your resources, your material world, just your material world becomes so much more important to you. There's a bigger focus on it. You could be budgeting, trying to get a raise, trying to make sure you save money, you cut back on spending in some areas. Maybe you want to conserve water in your home or electricity, or because the sun is there. The sun is in this sign starting on the 22nd, and it's really shining a flashlight on all of your material world. So you're really going to see the areas that need some help, the areas that need to be enhanced a little bit more, the areas that are lacking, the areas that are like excelling and exceeding. You're going to see all of that, okay? So when it comes to earning money, you could definitely find a way to earn more. You could find like a side venture to make money that's like maybe creative, especially because Venus and Mercury are there together around the same degree. They're going to be very close together. So since Mercury's skills of the hands and thinking, and Venus is creativity and beauty and art and stuff, especially if you're in a creative field, this month of July, you can have business be booming. You can have those ideas come to you. You could really be using your hands a lot more for those creative skills to make yourself some more money. Also, if you work just a regular job, this is a time where you can maybe ask for a raise, especially with Venus being there. Your employers may see you in a more positive light, like you are valuable. You're valuable to the company. You're a valuable employee. You deserve a lot more with monetary value. They may even maybe not reward you monetarily, but maybe just reward you with more compliments and more recognition. Like, you are really worth something here, and we appreciate you. So they may just give you an award, or maybe just a pat on the back. But you know what, Cancer? You just need to accept that as something to give you a little bit more of a boost of confidence when it comes to your value with how you earn your money, which can be your job. One thing I would be careful of and mindful of with all of this energy focused on your second house in the material world is overdoing it when it comes to spending money, when it comes to shopping, when it comes to maybe even being stingy with your money. Just try to maintain a good balance with spending and conserving, and also not basing your self-worth on how much you earn or what you have in this material world, because Cancers, you're a water sign. Water signs are usually very in tune with the unseen world, with emotions, with spirituality. So, don't get caught up so much in the material world and think you have to buy this and buy that and have this nice material thing, a car, a house. You don't have to have those. They don't define who you are. Cancers are usually very nurturing, giving, loving people who are supportive, and people appreciate that about you. So don't get too caught up in materialism and consumerism. Remember who you are and what you're worth as a soul. So there is a full moon this month in the sign of Capricorn at 27 degrees Capricorn. This happens July 19th. This is in your opposite sign, and opposite means other people, which can mean relationships. And full moons bring things to a final decision or to a close or to a head if it's something that's been building up, some tension, and that requires a change to release the tension and move along with your life. So this can be maybe a relationship comes to an end, but it doesn't have to be a scary, sad breakup, Cancer. It can mean a relationship, like a decision involving your relationship, whether to take it to the next level, whether or not to be serious, or whether or not just to decide, we're just going to be friends with benefits, or what have you. Now, because this is a full moon, it's like the sun and the moon are opposite. The sun is in your sign. It's highlighting you. You're like, hey, I'm here, right? It's all about me. And then the moon is your emotions, and it's in the 7th house of relationships. So it's other people. So there can be like an opposition there, a push and pull when it comes to you and what you want out of relationships, what other people want out of you, what you want from them, what you want for yourself. There could be like a conflictual thing going on that you have to come to a decision with. And this moon is going to be making a square aspect, which is a challenging aspect, but it allows for growth, okay, on the positive side, to Uranus. Uranus is in Aries, which is your 10th house of career and your public image. So something can change with your relationship status, and it can require a change when it comes to your career status or your social status. Vice versa, there could be a change regarding your career that kind of affects your relationships, and you got to make some decisions there that are very important. So whatever it is important, and it just allows you to grow more as a person. Speaking of Uranus, Uranus is going retrograde starting this month, and retrograde means it goes backwards and it goes within. And if it's in your house of career, this could be a time for you to go within and make some changes within yourself so that you can grow in your career and in your status and your goals, the highest goals that you can reach in life. What is your purpose here? What are my Cancers supposed to be doing in this life to make a difference, to be seen, to be heard, to be serving your purpose? What are you doing as far as like career or what have you? Uranus retrograde is the time where you go within and you think about those things, you make some changes. The changes may be sudden, especially with all this first house activity going on, initiating change within the self. This just tells me this is a month for huge changes, Cancer, so be prepared for that. Now, the last thing I'm going to do to wrap up this reading for this month is something new, because this is a new month for you guys with new beginnings. So I'm going to pull a card, an angel tarot card, that concentrates on what is the main focus and message for my Cancer people, specifically for the month of July. All right, Cancer, so the card I drew for you guys after shuffling and really concentrating on your sign and your energy is the Chariot card. So take a look at this card right here. And he is on a chariot that has 2 horses, a black one and a white one, which symbolizes balance to me, like you're balancing things out. But also, this is a card of power, of initiation. And this goes along with the energy of the Sun, Venus, and Mercury, all being in your first house of initiation. It's all about balancing things out and taking a new journey, which can represent the first house of the life path. So taking a new journey on your life path, shifting it into a new direction. It also has to do with public recognition. So That goes along with Uranus going retrograde in your 10th house of public recognition. This card is just telling you to make sure that you definitely initiate something new this month, to go on a new journey or bring in a new element to your journey and your life path, to initiate your power, but don't do it to where you're overbearing. Make sure you balance things out. Make sure you balance out the light and the dark. I'd say the dark side would be like being like a military general or too bossy, you know, with this first house energy going on. And then the light side is being very, very giving of yourself to other people. So you need to balance all of that out. And since the second house is highlighted this month, which has to do with your self-worth and value and your finances, making sure your finances are all balanced out. As I said earlier in the reading, with the astrology, this card definitely matches up with the astrology of this month for my Cancers. It is also said that the Chariot card actually represents the energy of Cancer, of a very strong emotional sign, but it's a cardinal sign. And cardinal signs, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, and Aries, you guys all are the initiators, the starters, because you guys represent the beginning of new seasons. Cancer represents the beginning of summer, at least in the northern hemisphere. So being very soft and Cancerian, giving and loving, but still initiating new ideas and new journeys and just initiating something new, being powerful, but balancing everything out.